wash your hair tight. When I wake up in the morning, my bed says 4 Like, what's your hair type? Tryna go out tonight. I think I need my bonnet. It's always a kinky conversation. A kinky conversation. But I got that magic.
Welcome back for the second segment of our Bloggers Edition. And we have two new young ladies on the panel, or at the round table, however you want to look at it. We have Kiwi the Beauty.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for being here. Tell them first, how can they get in contact with you?
Find me at kiwithebeauty.com. That's my blog, and all social media is Kiwi the Beauty.
Awesome. That's great. And we also have Danielle, a.k.a. Star Puppy.
Star Puppy.
Yes, Star Puppy away.
Yes. Well, that'll be at the end of the segment.
Well, let me reel her back on it.
I will float away. I've done it before.
Okay. Well, we're going to put some weights on you.
Good luck, you'll never catch me.
So tell them where they can find you, young lady.
Well, you'll find me all over the place because that's where I stay. But I am a YouTuber. You can find me at The Star Puppy, youtube.com/The Star Puppy, and also on Instagram, starpuppy_, and hopefully on your screens, as I am also a film actor.
Oh, awesome. So today's segment is part 2 of the conversation that we had earlier in regards to the changes in blogging. And I know with you, Kiwi, you've been blogging for about 6 years, and Danielle, you're relatively new. You've been going for about 2 to 3 years now. We want to talk about what have you seen change? Because the young ladies from before, they've been blogging for about 10 years, 10 plus years. Yeah. And they've noticed a change from money to passion and purpose and everything. They've just seen a total change in the community as a whole. So we want to talk to you and see, like, what are some of the things that you've seen? Let's start with you, Kiwi.
Wow, I should write a book on this now because it's amazing. It's like it's beautiful bittersweetness that's going on in the blogging world. Like, it's beautiful that there's so many people that can have a platform now. Like, there's so many, whatever you want to be, there's a platform for you. You can go on Instagram, you can go on Facebook, you can go on YouTube, and then you can make your own voice. So that's beautiful. But sometimes it just looks like it might be an oversaturation. So what's happening is there's such an influx because people are going, well, since she got that opportunity, I'm going to get this opportunity. So sometimes people are chasing the same opportunities and chasing the same niche and market. So I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of people, who were in it, which unfortunately they're feeling like, oh, well, I don't feel like I'm in my niche anymore. Maybe I should disperse out of my niche because my market's becoming oversaturated. But the good news for me and for everybody who's a blogger or influencer is like, as long as you're authentic to your voice, I still think there's room for anyone who wants the opportunity. There's still, if you believe in your own brand, that's what the goal is. The goal is not just to be a blogger, just to be known, but you have to believe in your own brand. So if you have a brand, I just believe there's still opportunities for us. It's just you have to kind of work through maybe the oversaturation or maybe the market is getting too flooded in this department, but I still feel like there's room for anybody who wants it enough.
I'd really actually like to piggyback off of the authenticity topic. So it took me a long time to actually start a YouTube channel, but I've been obsessed with YouTube since like 2009. I've taken it seriously in more recent years, but I've been watching the climate of YouTube and other social medias change. And it really bothers me to say that we've moved from authenticity, just kids in their rooms with really bad webcams, talking about their days or teaching like very simple basic makeup, to wealth flaunting and kind of this fear of missing out, like this very toxic place, unfortunately. A lot of it is how many followers do you have? Once you hit 1 million, you're worth something. That is, that in particular. I've felt that there has been a shift to put so much emphasis on numbers, especially in terms of YouTube, because that's my land. And it's spreading. It's really spreading. So it's actually disheartening, the changes I've
Like a
witnessed.
disease.
It's a disease. It's a social disease.
Yeah.
Social disease. We do like that.
Yeah. Can I ask you something? What do you think has shifted to make it into this like toxic environment from what it once was?
Social media. I think because we have such unlimited access to each other, we share and we overshare. And the saddest thing about my generation is that we are so connected, but we feel devastatingly alone.
Yeah, agree.
And social media, it just perpetuates it. It's a very natural human trait to compare yourself to others. And we have more access to compare ourselves to more people than ever before in human history.
Definitely.
And we do it. So we have to be very careful about how we use this mega superpower that's dropped into our laps. It's a really scary shift.
It is. And if you notice, a lot of people, if you think back to, let's say, high school, I'm face to face with you. I can't pretend, right?
Yeah.
I am who I am. So if I'm an introvert, that's who I am, but then I can go and become a superstar on YouTube. And then when I get the power of becoming a superstar, now I'm looking down on you because I have more followers than you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like people aren't being authentic and they are bullying other people.
Yep.
Because
So
of
now,
numbers.
because
Yeah.
of numbers. And it's not even money half the time. The money doesn't come from the numbers all the
Right.
time. Sometimes it does. Before it did, maybe.
Right.
Now, because you can buy followers,
Yeah.
you
Oh my
can,
gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. You can buy YouTube views, you can buy
Oh, you
subscribers.
can?
Yes.
Wait, you can buy it all. The world is yours.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah,
You can have what you want.
I did not know
No, I'm
that.
just saying, like, you can do anything and nothing, it's not off the table. It's a
You
black
can
market.
fabricate.
It's a social media black market.
Okay, I was just actually curious, and it kind of is going down that same lane. How do you guys kind of filter out like the negative comments, right? I mean, because I'm sure now since we all have access to each other, and even back to what you said about high school, they were cruel in high school. At least my experience, people were not nice, especially the girls. And so now it's like, we have access to each other. What you just said, and I'm sure people are still not nice, right? You see it all the time. So yeah, so like how, right? Because they're like punks, right? You can you can hide behind that, and it's like, okay, but let me see you on the street, like let's see what really would happen. Like, are you that bold? So how do you guys filter through that mess?
I'll be honest, I think I've been pretty fortunate, maybe because I'm still like kind of micro influencer size. Like I don't get as much attacks, but I see it. So you can go on a music video, you can go on certain people's pages, and people just say the most hateful things. And I'm like, wow, like you really think you know someone, or you're looking at something, people are nitpicky. So it's like, the technology is beautiful because everybody can have an opinion, and it's like, I want to voice my opinion, especially if it's something to voice your opinion on. It could be helpful because it's like, you voicing your opinion could change a brand. You voicing your opinion can make them shift, but sometimes people having an opinion, just like on personal lives, I've seen people's self-esteem go down because like, oh my God, they're really in my life.
So in 2018, I didn't post from April until maybe the beginning of January, maybe February. But because I was going through a point where I wanted to learn about me and I didn't want the influence of those people out there. People that, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the likes, I'm trying to, but I at the time I was going through a place of having to heal through something. So it was like, I didn't want to have other people's, and I didn't want to be on there trying to pretend I was happy when I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I was in a dark place. Yeah. And when I did, people were like, they were happy about it. They were like, I connect with that, but I still was like, I'm not doing this for y'all. I'm healing for myself.
And
So.
that's a good point, that there's people still posting when they're like going through something, but they feel like, look, I have to post because they expect me to post, so I'm happy. I'm taking all these beautiful pictures, my face is beat, my hair is beautiful. I might be on an island just for content, not for true self. It's for content. So you're like posting just to say you have content, but deep down there's something wrong going on, and which is fine. It doesn't have to be on the forefront, but it's like you don't have to post if you're not in that mode. Like, don't feel like because I have to post Monday through Friday, I have to push something out. Like, no, take a break. Like,
And then people feel like because they don't see what you're doing, that you're not doing nothing. It's like,
that's
no,
the
I'm working.
and it's actually the
I'm
opposite
working.
sometimes. Sometimes it's the opposite.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Let's see. For me, well, I come from a background of acting. I have been acting since I was 15, and I have been professionally acting since I was another number. And I'm very evasive about that. But because I already developed a thick skin in real life where you would be rejected from roles to your face because you are too short, In some cases, you are not the right tone. In some cases, your hair isn't long enough. You're taller than the lead actor. Like, I've been rejected because of who I am for years. So YouTube, I'm like,
You take it.
here's to you, hater. And there are actually functions that you can put in place. I was going through a time period where I was very sensitive about a certain topic. And some of my older followers might know about this topic and were berating me about it. And it
Can you
was,
share? Are you?
I'd rather not. I think it's better to just let the past be the past. And there was a certain point where my tough skin wasn't tough enough. And I used the internet, which was being used to attack me, to defend myself. There are functions on YouTube where you can literally filter comments. And there are like hot keys and keywords and like opposite SEO. And you just won't see them. Because sometimes you need to protect your own mental health. You have to prioritize yourself. Because someone can just jab at you because hurt people hurt people.
Big time.
But that hurt stays. So I used what was hurting me to protect myself.
So let's talk about that, because that's one of the things that they don't show. I mean, people are committing suicide. People, you know, kids are being bullied, and even children are killing themselves.
Oh my God.
Like,
It's on the rise.
It's on the rise because of comparison.
Yeah.
They're not feeling good enough. So let's talk
self-esteem,
about self-esteem and worth. What have you found with that when it comes to social media and YouTube?
It is, sure. It is a very precarious situation. Because when you are putting your authentic self out there, I am not being a character on Star Pup, because you've picked up. Oh no, that's on me.
Oh, I got it.
And when the haters come, you have to be in a place where you are able to let that roll off of your back. As an adult, I've had to literally teach myself how and when to even be on the internet. I think a lot of what has kept my mental stability intact is because I didn't have a cell phone until I was into my late teens. I didn't have this disease instilled in me since I was a small child. So I still remember what it's like to not even have any of this. And I returned to that. I was brought up very sheltered, which is why I'm so weird. But I returned to that because it's my safe space. Because I don't need to compare myself to anyone, but I get sucked in, and when I feel that, I identify that, I put it down, and I lose my cell phone like every 3 days.
Yeah.
Like in a couch.
It's necessary. No, it's necessary though,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think for me, I mean, anyone who's just on the internet, you don't have to be an influencer, you don't have to be a blogger, just having a presence online, you do get people just like hating, or you see it and you just internalize it, even if it's not towards you. I know I find myself, people don't really come on, say my pages acting crazy or anything, but like I do see it on other people's pages, and I sit back like, what type of life do you have? Like, why would you take the time and like type something like that out, you know? Yeah, but I mean, I personally, I'll take the time to put my phone away, I'll take a bath, because that's my thing. Like, I love just a nice bubble bath, you know, and really just like sit in me, my time, my skin, and just be with me. And that's really my thing. But it's crazy how like people feel like they have, I don't even know what you call it, like they have this boldness about this entitlement about themselves. And it's like, who do you think you are? Like, and you guys as bloggers, y'all are literally putting yourself out there, right? Sharing knowledge, saying, hey, I mean, this is how I do my hair, right? These are some tips and tricks. Like, this is what I want to share with you guys, so I can help you with your hair, right? Because you might be looking raggedy, right? So I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna share some knowledge about some product or whatever that my techniques, right? And people still come through, and it's like, I'm giving this to you, and you still hate.
And you don't have to look. Get off my page.
You don't have to look.
Get off my page.
You ain't even gotta be here.
Drama. We're living in a drama era too. So we used to think that it was just the celebrities that would get attacked. Now we're realizing that as long as you got some kind of platform, you're pretty much open reign for anybody to attack you. As long as you have a little bit of something, because I hate to say it's human nature, but I think sometimes in society people are looking to tear, like you said, hurt people. So it's like, I see you shining, how can I bring you down? So since you're an open person, you got this platform where you got a lot of people loving you and adoring you, it's almost like people are going, hey, I want to find a way to show you that you're not as all that as you think you are. So they want to tear you down. So what I think happens is people are trying to tear people's self-esteem down, and they feel alone, but they also, maybe something's going on with them. Maybe they're not accomplishing their dreams. Like, you know, if you're getting your numbers up, they're like, well, I want something to validate me. So it's like they're looking at you with your whatever platform you had, and it could be positive, but they're like, I want to take that away from you. Even if it's my ugly voice, I want to be the keyboard thug, and I want to take something away from you. If I get other people to come, then we can have these little groups that we can kind of bully you. And it is sad, because I've seen people break up marriages online. I've seen that's on the rise. People's relationships are breaking up online because of social media. So it's like it is getting kind of deep now because of social media. You're so open that your whole life can crumble off of the fact of what's going on online.
I had one situation one time where I tagged a girl in a photo, but I didn't even know her name, like literally. I didn't know her name, so I didn't tag her. You know, how can I? You know, so I put the picture up, and one of her friends happened to see the picture. So they tagged her, and then another one of her friends came on the feed and tagged her. And then they started, it was like a whole bunch of minions.
Right.
I'm like, what is this? You know, I got beehive.
Beehive.
They just went, no, seriously. And I'm like, oh, what, these little kids, they're like young girls. You know what
my
grown
gosh.
Come on,
The
let me show you what I
fan
am.
clubs. The fan clubs be the
Yeah,
bullies.
but this fan club, don't play with that.
No, I don't. Gosh,
But they didn't even
Yes,
they
but
just assumed
they
that you
assumed
did it on purpose.
All because you shared
But then
something.
the young lady posted it on her page and said, I will never do this job again because I wasn't paid, which I didn't hire her for the job. It was for a company. I don't have nothing to do with that. But she tagged me. So it's like, find out what the information is, find out the story, write the people directly.
And it's so crazy that you even say that, because I've had natural hair pages or post to me, but they don't tag me. And I've had friends say, oh, this is my friend, but because I surround myself with the right type of people. So, and they got common sense. So they'll be like, oh, this is my friend Dominique, right? But it's not like malicious. So I'm like, that's crazy that they would even do, like, people are ridiculous. But that's, but then I get,
have my gun blazing, honey.
okay, wait, we about to take them out? I got your back. I'm right there with you. But, okay, so then question. So we just highlighted like a ton of negativity. Yeah. So why do we keep doing it? What keeps y'all going?
Okay. For every negative comment, I have like 50 incredible, wonderful, I've literally cried over my comments before in like a positive way. My main demographic is girls 18 to like 35, and there is so much we don't talk about. And I'm like, I'll talk about it. And it's striking chords with people. People will literally email me at my business email and tell me like their deepest, most tragic moments and how I helped them with my silly little video. And I cannot believe how much of a positive impact Star Puppy is having on these kids that need someone to tell them that it's tough and it's okay to not feel like you're good enough. It's not you. It's the generation we're in.
And I will say, even with your hair and your fluff nugget, what you call
Fluff Nugget. This is Fluff Nugget. Oh my. You gotta name her, so you love her. So when she acts up, you still love her.
even with that, you own it. You know, people are like, I'm type this, I'm type here, I'm type, and this type thing is another way to separate it.
Yep, we have a lot of those.
We got a lot of it. But it's like you have hair. There's people that don't have no hair.
Well, fun fact, I've not had hair at a certain point in my life. I had an autoimmune moment, and my hair was falling off in patches, and I just didn't have hair. So I'm very grateful to have Fluff Nugget.
Story.
It's like a whole thing. No pictures, didn't have a cell phone.
So then it never happened.
I guess not.
Never happened.
Well, I'll do an artist's rendering. It's just a frowny face. But I'm just grateful to have hair, and you know, it's thin and it's fine, but it's mine. Oh, I'm gonna put that on a shirt. Yeah.
Well, I want to speak on why I still do it. The word influencer, I think it was supposed to be derived from a positive context. And when I started 6 years ago, I've always wanted to inspire. And I know that sounds cliche, but I base my platform not off of vanity. I don't play, it's Kiwi the beauty, but it was never about this beauty. It was about how I projected myself onto the world. So whatever I took a picture of, whatever I discovered and I wanted to share, that's what I wanted to influence, because I feel like sometimes even with celebrities who are well known, people are selling vanity. I never wanted to sell vanity. I wanted to sell, well, not sell, but I wanted to project onto the world, or whoever saw me or stumbled upon me or knows me, I wanted to project positivity. That's who I am as a person. I'm not trying to say that, oh, kumbaya, everything, but it's like my entire platform that I built it on was based off of positivity, where to travel, you know, what movie to watch that I like. It's not about, oh, I want to bash this movie. It's about, I think this is a good movie for you to watch. Or, you know what, I think this hair product would be a good hair product for you to use. It's not about, I don't like this, because there's some people who go purposely on their platform to go, I hate this, let's bash this, whatever. And that's fine. There's a purpose for everything. But for me to keep going, I have people going, you know what, because of you, I did this. Because of you, I was able to learn this. Thank you. So, you know, it's like the new age teachers, you know, like you don't have to be in a school to teach something. Sometimes you could just be the same age as someone, maybe a little bit older, maybe someone younger, and you can teach or inspire or learn from somebody else. So I continue to still do blogging and influencing, because I feel like there's still some positivity that I can still project into the world. And there's other people like me that do similar things as well. So we can still be influencers. We can still be people on YouTube or Facebook or whatever platform you're, you know, in charge of. You can still be a positive person. You don't have to feed into the negative, because I feel like energy is what you put it. So if you decide that, hey, I'm doing this on a vanity aspect, you have to be prepared for all that negative traction to come. But if you put your platform down and you try to your best of ability to build yourself up on a positive platform, it'll be a little bit harder for people to like, I'm going to tear that down, because your lane is different, you know? Like you can't avoid, like I said, you can't avoid negative. Like you said, you get for every one, you get 50. So you put your platform on a certain aspect. But there are people who are like, hey, I get way more positive traction because that's where your energy is going. So if you're going to be an influencer, if anybody's trying to be a blogger still or influencer, there's still opportunity to be a positive force. It's not about, okay, it doesn't have to be a comparison contest. It doesn't have to be, okay, who's got the most drama. It's where you put yourself at. So I want to still be one of these people who, as I continue to go on 10 years, 20 years from now, hopefully the internet's still around like that you can still be a positive influence. Like, I don't know if that's rare now. Like, are we all just doing this for self-gain, or are we trying to put something positive into the world? Like, where is your mark in the world, and is it positive? And I think some people have to ask that question. Why are you doing this? Is it for yourself, or are you trying to influence? So that's why I want to do it.
Positive. This was a positively beautiful conversation. Right. Yeah, no, and it's needed. And we have to keep it going. I mean, this is the type of things that can heal not only younger generation, but for the older generation. Everyone needs it. So so we thank you ladies for coming today. This was beautiful. Yes, we have a lot more work to do, and we hope this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship.
Yes, building a community.
Cheers, yes. What are we cheering to?
Positivity.
Yes, I love it.
So we need you to positively follow us at Kinky Conversations, or you can go online at kinkyconvos.com. Thanks as always for watching, and keep it kinky.
For more Kinky Conversations, log on now to www.kinkyconvos.com or on Instagram at Kinky Conversations. Interested in being on the show or showcasing your natural hair products? Use hashtag Kinky Conversations or hashtag Curlfriends. Kinky conversation.